messages video for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign for the month of October 2019. So I already went ahead and pulled a few oracle cards from a couple of my decks. I'm going to start with those messages and then we'll move into the tarot. So the first card that I pulled for my Leos this month of October 2019 is the card Thinker. My initial impression, especially upon seeing the picture, is that a lot of you Leos out there might be tempted to overthink and overanalyze this month. And what this card is basically telling you is that there's really no need to overanalyze or over fantasize on a certain topic in your life. You may be going through something that really calls for you to be strategic, analytical, logical in your approach to it. But after that point, there's really no need to kind of look for other deeper, more, more abstract meanings to what's going on in your life. For instance, if you're facing like a decision at work or within your family or your relationship, and you're trying to find all these reasonings and all these deeper meanings, these patterns, associations that really have nothing to do with what's obviously right in front of you, this just wouldn't be a good month to, overly fantasize about things. And then with this card, this is the Angelarium Oracle card, and it's Binna, left eye, or knowledge. So what this card is really saying kind of ties into the whole thinker part of the reading. Don't overanalyze. Receive the information that's right in front of you. Don't try to, look for, oh, there has to be a deeper meaning. There has to be more to it. Take whatever is in front of you for face value this month, Leo, because sometimes the right answer is the most obvious answer. It's right there. And that's really what this is saying. This is saying, be receptive to knowledge. You also might be called on to weigh in on a certain topic for somebody else, passing on what you know to other people. Giving and receiving knowledge. It's really, this month for you is going to be a lot about strategic thinking, but just living in that cerebral space, as opposed to, more of a metaphysical space this month. Don't be tempted to come up with too many stories and too many reasons, and just stay in your headspace this month, Leo. Don't fall too deeply in this, I wouldn't want to say trap, but sometimes, falling too deeply into your emotional space can be a trap when you're trying to make a logical decision on a matter. And with this frog energy here, this is a water sign energy. The frog energy is all about healing and cleansing. So it could quite literally mean go take a bath, Leo, go get in your bubble bath, soak up, relax, and clear your energy. It can mean go burn some sage, light a candle, go for a walk in nature, sit by a lake. That's what it could literally mean. And then more figuratively, it could mean you might be overworking, you might be overthinking, not getting enough sleep, not drinking enough water. You're not really looking within yourself and looking at yourself clearly enough to realize that you need a break. You need a break and you need to cleanse and heal yourself, whatever way you can, whatever way that means to you. How do you usually release? How do you usually, take a break and relax and, rebuild yourself, rebuild your energy? This is that month where it's imperative that you actually take a step back and take that time to heal yourself. Whatever you've been going through, whatever stress you've been under, whatever decisions you've had to make, you've done it, you've done the work, you've been working hard, it's time to take a break. The frog energy isn't meant to be overworked. It's a very sensitive energy. It's all about that flow of life, kind of going with the flow as opposed to, trying to go against the wave. If your body's telling you take a break, go with it. Especially if you've been overthinking a situation or a decision that you had to make. All right, so let's jump into the tarot so that we can get more messages on what's going on for my Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019. All right, so I'm going to be using the True Black Tarot deck. I've already shuffled all of these decks. I've already cleansed all of these decks that I'm going to be using today. So let's just go ahead and get some messages for Leos. All right, what's going on with my Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising signs for October 2019? What messages do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019? What messages do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019? All right, so yeah, we're starting off with the Moon card. Moon energy. Stepping out of the realm of illusion, deception, and that doesn't have to be some scary, ominous thing. That could literally mean, you know, take a look at the bigger picture of the situation. What's really going on here? Forget the frills, forget the smoke and mirrors, forget the fantasy, forget what could be. What's really happening here? You know? And that's literally all that could mean with the Moon card. Let's get some more messages. You also could be dealing with a Pisces, Cancer, or some other water sign. You could have that in your birth chart, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign, but that's just the astrological point of view. The key message there, and which is so important to say in this video, take it for what it's looking like. Forget the smoke and mirrors. What other messages do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019? All right. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is literally all about working. You could be dealing with a situation within work where you're having to kind of, you know, look at the bigger picture. And with the Seven of Pentacles, it's really about putting in the work, planting good seeds. If it's within a relationship, this month you might have to work on the relationship in a more objective standpoint, you know, rather than looking at, you know, purely the aesthetic joys and pleasures of the relationship, the physical pleasures. You might have to be thinking about, okay, where is this going long term? What seeds do I personally want to plant in this commitment? What seeds are we planting together? Where is this actually going? Are we going to be bearing good fruit going forward, or are we going to be bearing bad fruit? And that can go for any aspect of life. At work, how hard are you actually working at your job? Are you overworking at your job and not receiving enough from it? Are you not working hard enough? Are you not putting in enough effort for what you really want? So this is all about planting those proper seeds and then waiting on them to grow. It's not really about, you know, moving too fast, wanting everything to happen, you know, in your time. Kind of being patient enough to wait for things to unfold based on the work that you've put in. And being realistic about your expectations of what's actually going to come out of the situation. So what other messages do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign for October 2019? What other messages do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019? What other messages do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019? What other messages do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs October 2019? All right. What other messages do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019? What other messages do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs? Whoop. All right, how many cards is that? Hold on. All right. 2, 4. All right, I'll take all these. All right. Okay, let me look at them before I'm starting to just take everything. All right. So, don't know which one came out first, but that really doesn't have to do with the storyline. We have the World card. There could be a completion of a cycle. I don't know, maybe if you've been working towards something and now you're kind of finally coming to the finished product. If you have a business that you're starting, it's probably time to start launching. If you're coming out with a new product, it's time to, you know, start getting that one going. You know, you've kind of come to an end in a situation, and what's next for you is the new beginning. That's what comes after the world. You know, once you've, you know, gathered all the information, once you've got all the knowledge, you've set in place everything that you wanted to accomplish, you've done the work, and now it's time to obtain your prize. Really. Now it's time to get what you deserve, because you've worked for it. With the Page of Swords here, somebody could be coming in, could be an air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, who has some news for you about a project that you've been working on. You could, you know, have a bright idea for the next phase of, you know, what you want for your project, what you want at your job, what you want for your life and your relationship. You know, you could be planting those seeds for the next level, and you have these grand ideas. And with this being the Page of Swords, it's important to be logical. You know, you might be excited about, you know, what's next for you, but just be logical, do some planning, because you still have that Seven of Pentacles there. And with the World, you can get what you want, but it's up to you to use those knowledge and skills that you've acquired over the years before you just start, you know, willy-nilly doing things. Additionally, when you're transitioning from one phase to the next, never forget what you learned from the past. Never forget what you learned from the past. With the King of Cups here, you could be dealing with Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, or you could have that in your chart. With the King of Cups here, this could very well be the energy that you need to embody. Emotional control, wisdom, keeping a cool head under pressure. Like I said in the beginning, you could be giving advice to another person. You could be called on to be a leader in a situation, and it's up to you to be mature about it, especially emotionally mature, especially emotionally mature in this situation. Because with that page there, you know, pages are bright and, you know, innovative and things because it's a young energy, but it also can be a little bit sporadic because it is a young energy. You may be tempted to say certain things because you're thinking them. You might want to be a little bit more strategic in how you're communicating with others this month. And this very well could be about, it could be about a partnership with the Four of Wands here. It could be about, like I said, a project that you've been working on, and you're finally free to explore. You're finally free to explore, you know, other options. You're finally free to explore what you can do next, you know, in whatever situation. Especially at work, there definitely might be an opportunity to advance at work. And this month, I wouldn't say like just jump ship. I definitely say be smart about what you're looking at, you know, going forward, what you want to do going forward. If this is about a partnership, because it very well could be, because the Four of Wands is also like celebration within a partnership, you know, advancing marriage, things like that, making it official, whatever it is that could be happening in your particular circumstance. If this is about a partnership, I think this isn't like, I'm not getting the vibe that some crazy, don't move too quickly. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think that this is about some crazy change that might be happening in your life. With the World, it might be a big change, a big transition from what you've been used to previously, or over maybe the last couple months, the last couple years. However, I think that because you had Thinker in the beginning, you have to be logical about how you're progressing. Because with the Moon card here and the Seven of Pentacles, I'm getting the impression that the key component in whatever this situation is looking to your past to understand how you should approach your future. If that makes sense. Water energy is really past life energy, your past energy. So especially when you're emotionally maturing, you kind of do have to rely on your prior experience to kind of signal, okay, what will work going forward with this situation? You know, how can I move forward in this new level that I'm at in my partnership, in my job, in my business, in my projects in school? How can I use my lessons that I learned from the past, you know, how I planted seeds in the past, so that I can plant better seeds for the future? Now that I'm the master with the world card right here, you know, I've been there, I've done that, I've done this in the past. How do I move forward in this new situation, this new phase of life that I'm coming into, so that I can be victorious, so that I can break through whatever bonds held me in that phase in the past, so that I can move, you know, to a better phase, more mature, more thought through phase in the future, you know? Especially with the moon card, don't ignore the signs. Don't ignore the signs of, you know, something being good for you and something being bad for you. You know what's good for you, know what's bad for you. You know what's good for your project, what's bad, based on what you've done in the past. So be strategic in how you're moving forward. If there's something that you really want to do, something that excites you, I'm getting good energy from this. Don't get me wrong. I'm getting great energy from this. I'm getting your advancing energy. You're getting something that you've worked for energy. But be strategic in how you approach it. So then we have the Strength card, which is the Leo card. So you got you here on the table. And strength, it can be played out in a couple of ways. So one way is, you know, literally having that courage and having the drive to move forward despite whatever obstacles you may face. You know, if you're trying to go for a new promotion and you got all these haters telling you can't do it, or telling you you're not good enough, or maybe the haters in your own mind telling you that you're gonna fail, you're gonna give up, it's taking too long, Strength is all about persevering, but being courageous, you know, standing up for what you believe in, but being smart about it. Do not forget that's on the board. You have to be smart about it, Leo. But then strength could also literally mean having the courage to walk away from a situation, not just, you know, fighting until you can't fight anymore. Sometimes it is having the courage to walk away. It could be temporarily walking away. With the World card, especially it being under the World card, it might be a permanent transition that you're making from one thing to another thing, and it could be a really big thing in your life. It could be life-changing, right? However, it's not about you gave up. You didn't give up, Leo. You're elevating. You're transitioning from, you know, whatever bound you before to freedom, to, you know, other better options in your life, better opportunities in your life. You know, there could be a situation where there's just something better right there, you know, waiting for you to leave behind whatever situation you were in the past for that new thing. You might be afraid to take a promotion. You might be afraid to walk away from whatever comforts you had in the past, whatever coping mechanisms you've had in the past. And that reminds me of that frog card that we got earlier. You know, maybe you've overworked yourself and overextended yourself in the past, and you're so used to doing that, you kind of neglected that maybe you need better coping skills, maybe you need better time management skills. Whatever it is, strength is all about just having courage to make the right moves. If you find out some information in a situation and you're like, oh, but I don't want to give up on it, I'm afraid, you know, you can't be afraid this month. You really can't be afraid to go after what you want. You know, go after what you want. Plant those good seeds that you can have a good future, especially in a commitment. You got the 7 of Pentacles over the 4 of Wands here. Especially in a commitment, you know, if you're approaching a new relationship, this is definitely about planting those good seeds, you know, doing the good work, and, you know, putting in the effort so that you can make sure that this relationship is a sound commitment. it's not based on, you know, you just willy-nilly doing things. You're just kind of like, I don't know, not really doing things to actually sustain the relationship. You're doing them just to have fun, or to kind of like, I don't know, to create a fantasy, especially with the Moon card here, right on top of the King of Cups. You can't be emotionally unbound or unwound. You can't be delusional about what you expect to happen in whatever situation you're in, especially a commitment. Could be a relationship, could be a new job opportunity. Be realistic in your expectations. Be realistic in your abilities to handle certain things right now. You might not be able to handle it immediately. You might need to take some time to gather that strength so that you can go after, you know, the big prize, what you really want, you know, that future that you really want, that long-term commitment that you really want to whatever it is that you desire. All right, let's get one more card on the board. What other information do we have for Leo's October 2019? What other information do we have for Leo's October 2019? What other situation do we have for Leo's? All right, perfect. All right. We have the Ace of Wands, one of my favorite cards. Oh, I love this card so much. And I'm going to tell you why, Leos. This is a card about new beginnings, new ventures, going after something that you're passionate about. It could be a new business, a new job, a new relationship, a new, I don't know, a new addition to your family. You know, you could be, you know, trying to adopt, you know, get pregnant or something like that. And this month, it's definitely looking good for new passions, right? So with the Ace of Wands energy, I definitely, now that we have the whole picture here, I definitely see that there's an opportunity coming your way, Leo. You could have already saw the opportunity. It could already be in your life right now. But this month, it's about being smart about how you approach this opportunity. Putting in the work that you're supposed to do. Don't be delusional about the expectations of what you actually want. Try to keep your temper under control, your emotions under control whenever you're faced with challenges, because that's just how things are. Whenever you have something new in your life, you're not going to know the answers. You're not going to have all the answers to how to approach it. Take your time and look at it from a logical standpoint. And then just be ready for that transition. Be ready for that transition. Be ready to be courageous, to trust in things that you can't see. That's also what the Moon card is about. You know, there might be, a thing might look a certain way, but you have to trust that you know the truth about the matter. You know, trusting in your intuition, believing that you can get your Ace of Wands, believing that you can get your Four of Wands, you know, that commitment, that celebration, that freedom, you know, that you've been looking for, to follow your passions, you know, to transition, to finally elevate, you know. And then at the bottom of the deck here, we have the Hermit card, which lets me know that you really do need some time out, Leo. You need some time to yourself. You need some introspection time. You need some time to really figure things out from a logical standpoint, without the cloud of emotions, without the cloud of other people's input, maybe. You know, somebody might have some great insights for you, but marinate on them, Leo. You know, don't just react. Maybe take a second and marinate on it. Like I said, if you're trying to get a new job or something like that, Leo, take some time out to think about it. What do you really want? What do you really expect? Is this a better opportunity? If it is, how do you approach it? How do you get it so that it can sustain you long term? So thinking is what you need to do this month, Leo, which isn't, you know, it's a Leo thing. You guys think, sometimes you overthink, and I think that's what the theme is about. Just don't overthink. All right, clarify the Moon card for Leo. October 2019. Clarify the moon card. Oh. All right, got the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands. Let me just show you that. The Nine of Wands is about perseverance. It's about perseverance, and especially on the moon card, I think perseverance in the face of uncertainty. Like I said, you're not going to have all the answers, but you got to keep going. You know, you got to keep trying. You got to keep, you know, believing that what you really want is obtainable. Stand your ground. You know, don't give up, because you're almost there. It's on the board. Whatever you want is extremely obtainable in the near future. You could have already gotten it by the time you watch this video. You could already know exactly what I'm talking about, but you got to persevere. Clarify the Seven of Pentacles. Clarify the Seven of Pentacles for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising for October 2019. Clarify the Seven of Pentacles. All right. We got the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords, literally, it kind of goes along with exactly what I just said. Taking that mental roadblock away, that idea that you're never going to get it, you can't obtain it, you're in this, you know, mental prison, you know, you can't get out. You know, just close my eyes and hope it goes away. Close my eyes and hope somebody saves me, saves the day. You got to let yourself out of the mental prison. You got to let go of old cycles of how you're approaching situations, and realize that as soon as you shift your approach, you can walk right out of that mental prison that has held you in place. You know, held you hoping and wishing that things were different. You can actually make them different. Don't hold yourself in that mental trap of not believing that what you want is actually going to come to fruition. You can get it. Just keep putting in the work. It's up to you. It's up to you. That's all this is about. Taking the reins, taking matters into your own hands, and going after what you want. Taking the blindfold off and saying, you know what? This is the reality of the situation. This is the work that I have to do. I can do it. Clarify the World card. Clarify the World card for Leo, Sun, Moon, Risings, October 2019. Clarify the World card. How many of these? 1, 2. I'll take them. All right, let me see. Okay, we have, all right, 2 5s. Yeah, we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the 5 of Wands, and we have the 5 of Pentacles. There's an opportunity right there in between 2 5s, right? On one side, we have a lack mindset. We have a mindset that you don't have enough information, enough resources, enough potential, enough this, enough that. On the other side of the coin is you literally kind of fighting this idea, fighting the idea of you possibly ever moving on from the past. And getting something new. There's an opportunity, and that opportunity is right in between a lack mindset and a resistance to change. A resistance to change, maybe a resistance to hear somebody else out when they have an opportunity for you. They have some of the answers that you need. They have what you're looking for, but you're kind of stuck in between. Feel free to change, Leo. I know that's hard for a fixed sign to hear, but Leo, get your Ace of Pentacles, get that new job, get that new relationship, get that new home, get that new car, get that new thing that you know you want, but you might not believe that you can get. It's on the World card, so clearly you do have what it takes to get that ace, but you've got to do better in the whole believing in yourself aspect, okay? And please resist the temptation to fight with others this month. I don't think that that's going to pay off for you. I don't think that, you know, arguing and petty squabbles are going to be your thing for this month. Clarify the Page of Swords. Clarify the Page of Swords for Leo, October 2019. All right, we'll take those. Oh, Ace of Cups, 7 of Swords. All right. All right, there might be a new opportunity in a relationship. You might be starting in a relationship. With the 7 of Swords, please don't try to be because it's clarifying the Page of Swords. Like I said, the pages, they can be smart and innovative and, you know, have the gift of the gab, but please don't play yourself when you have this opportunity, Leo. And what I mean by that is like talking too much, trying to, you know, outsmart your opponent. But you do need to outsmart your opponent. Trust me. Strategy is the key for this month, but don't try to have it all. That's what the Seven of Swords is about. Don't try to have your cake and eat it too. Take what you can and go, Leo. That's literally what's going to pay off for you this month. Don't try to salvage this or that, especially in a partnership. If you're transitioning out of a partnership, don't try to like get back at whoever you're leaving. Don't try to like tear them down. Don't try to like hold on to the connection when you're moving into another one. You know what I'm saying? With the job situation, don't try to like, you know, you're leaving a job for another one and then you want to like see how you can get over on your, you know, your last employer or whatever before you leave. Like, no, just take what's yours, take what you can and go. You know, be strategic about this new opportunity that you have. Because boom, you got the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands. You have a new opportunity. It's right there. You probably already have it, but don't try to be too tricky, okay? Because it might blow up, and it might blow up on you. It might not work out in your favor when you're trying to be too clever in a situation. Just take what you can, take what you have, and move into your next phase. Trim the fat. That's what I like to say. All right, clarify the King of Cups. Clarify the King of Cups. Clarify the King of Cups. For Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, October 2019. Clarify the King of Cups. Clarify the King of Cups on the Leos. Clarify the King of Cups. Yep, that one's it. All right. Four of Wands. This is the second time it's on the table. Yes, Leo. You're going to be successful at whatever endeavor you want. You're going to be successful. You're going to have a foundation. Finally, a foundation, something that can sustain. And it's literally based on you being able to control yourself and be mature, be emotionally intuitive. That's a really important part of this. Be emotionally intuitive, but don't let your emotions take you away from your prize. You know, be smart, be calm, Leo. You know, be the Water King, the King of Cups, the calm, understanding king, who can handle whatever turbulence may be happening around, especially with change. With change comes a little bit of friction. We can't run from that, Leo, and that's fine. It's fine. You're going to be successful. Success is literally on the other side of that, you know, that rough road that you have to travel to get there. Clarify the Four of Wands. 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 Clarify. Oop. Shoot. All right, too many cards. Too many messages. We already have a lot on the board. I just want one. Just want one for my Leos. Clarify the Four of Wands. Clarify the Four of Wands. All right. The Four of Swords, 2 4s. The Four of Swords is literally about rest, recovery. Recovery. You may be breaking your chains of, so you got 2 breaking the chains cards here. You might be breaking the chains, and it might hurt, so you might need a recovery period. You got a bunch of 4s on the board. There's a foundation that you're having to work on, something long-term. There may be a foundation that you're gonna have to walk away from, something long-term, for something new. For something new. You know, you might be used to this being this way, but you're having to break those chains. And this is literally just about rest. Maybe meditate, Leo. Take some time, just be calm. Take a break, Leo. You've worked so hard, especially if you are leaving one job for another, one commitment for another. You put in that work, and it's gonna hurt to just cut the cord. And maybe it's not gonna hurt as bad as you think. I don't see too many like super pain cards on the board. I don't really see a lot of pain happening right here. I see maybe some little petty arguments or something, some sharp words, some annoyance. I don't see too much pain. I don't see long-term pain here on the board, Leo. I honestly see you being victorious, and I see you being happy. I really do. But that's contingent upon you taking a break and resting, Leo. Don't fight the rest that you need. Please don't. Clarify the strength card. Clarify the strength card. Spirit guides for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019. Clarify the strength card. Clarify the strength card for Leos. All right, another 5 of Cups. Aw, I knew this one was gonna come out because I said it. All right, you might have a little bit of heartbreak. It's okay, Leo. This is a Scorpio card. You might have a little bit of heartbreak, Leo. But it's okay. Just like I said before, there's a little bit of pain when you're breaking free of those chains. However, you got to find the strength to be okay, because you're going to be okay. You're going to get something so much better, Leo, with all of these aces. The universe is like, take one thing away, replace it with something better. You got the World card. You're transitioning to something better for you. Leo, something more sustainable with the Ace of Pentacles here. And the Four of Wands, that foundation, the Seven of Pentacles, you know, working on that foundation. So if you find yourself with some tears this month, Leo, don't worry. Don't worry. Everything's going to be just fine. Just have that strength to move on. Have that strength to take care of yourself emotionally. Find better coping mechanisms. Taking a break is really a great coping mechanism. Like I said, maybe go, I don't know, sit by a lake, do some meditation, just relax for a second. Don't be tempted to go crazy. Hold it together, Leo, because this too shall pass. The pain, the tears, it'll pass, Leo. Trust me, it'll pass. Clarify the Ace of Wands for Leo. Clarify the Ace of Wands for Leo. You know, if something scary is happening and you're in like a transition, don't be afraid. Oh, we got the 8 of Wands here. Yeah, don't be afraid, Leo. Things might be progressing really quickly with this 8 of Wands here, and it might be scary, but you got to be the Queen of Swords sometimes. You might be dealing with somebody who has a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra strong in their birth chart. But then more importantly, with the Queen of Swords here, it's about being able to trim the fat, being able to cut people off, to cut situations off. If you're dealing with business, you got to be able to cut your losses. You got to be able to cut your losses. And with that being under the Page of Swords, you might be tempted to get back at your competitor, to get back at the people that you're, you know, walking away from in business. But don't do that, because you're getting something so much better, and being smart with your words is gonna benefit you. And then additionally with the Queen of Swords, it's also about, like I said in the beginning, using that past experience to make logical decisions going forward on how you're gonna approach a situation. Not being bitter, like, oh, this happened to me in the past, so it's gonna happen again. I can't trust nobody. That's not what I'm saying, Leo. Please don't do that. Don't be like that. It's really literally about, okay, if you see you have an opportunity and there are things that you've done in the past that did not work out for the foundation and the longevity of that opportunity, don't forget that. Remember what you learned in the past about how to build a foundation that's sustainable. So let's pull some advice cards for my Leos. What advice do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019? What advice do we have for my Leos? What advice do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019? What advice do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019? What advice do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs? This one. All right. So we have the Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. With the Queen of Wands, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. You could be dealing with somebody with that in their birth chart. Could be you. Could be you holding it down. Whenever I think of the Queen of Wands, I think of somebody who's feisty and bold and courageous and lovely, you know, somebody that, you know, holds it down, who really lights that flame in their life, keeps the torch burning for their family, for their, you know, their lifestyle, for their job, for their coworkers. That's somebody who holds it down for the team. And then with the Two of Pentacles here, being wise in your decision making, especially financially, weighing the pros and the cons, understanding that whatever foundation you have right now is not sustainable. That's what I think about with the Two of Pentacles. You're managing right now, especially with the Queen of Wands, but it's not sustainable. You're gonna have to make a decision one way or the other, especially if you're weighing options on which way to go. You're gonna have to make a decision. You can't keep doing this. You got to go this way or you got to go that way. You got to do it this way. You got to do it that way. If you're juggling finances, juggling, you know, something like that, you have to make a decision on what you want to do to maintain your finances in a way that is less up and down in the future, making better, you know, smarter financial decisions. Or like I said, if you're transitioning from one job to another, you can't, you know, you got to kind of just, okay, I'm doing this and that's it, you know. What other advice do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019? What other advice do we have for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for October 2019? All right, 2 pieces of advice with the Chariot on the bottom. Perfect. Ace of Wands, what I tell you, baby. Something new is coming into your life and it's going to be fantastic. You're passionate about it. With the Five of Swords, like I said, don't be tempted to be a bully. Look, I'm not saying you're the bully. Somebody could be trying to take advantage of you, Leo, with the Five of Swords here. But don't buy into that. Don't buy into that because you got the Ace of Wands. Don't buy into, you know, the idea that, because this is about like one person being victorious over the other. Could be you, could be them. But don't like take it to heart. Don't be tempted to like, you know, if you're the victor, kick somebody while they're down, just walk away. Just take your swords and go. You know, if they're trying to take advantage of you, recognize that and just be like, you know what, I'm bowing out with grace. I'm gonna go grab my Ace of Wands and you can have those, you know, sharp swords that are gonna cut you in the long term anyway. You know, I'm not trying to get into your drama, Leos, if there is drama, but take your ace and go. Especially with the Chariot here, you're going to be successful. You're going to cross the finish line and be victorious. There's no need to gloat. There's no need to, you know, like I said, look back on the situation like, you know, you treated me bad in this job and, you know, now I got a brand new job and it's better than you. Like, don't be tempted to do any of that, Leo, because guess what? You got it all. And it's all in your hands because the Chariot, you control the Chariot. You control where the Chariot goes. You're free to do that. You're not trapped in a situation. You control where this Chariot goes. And the Chariot is going to go wherever it wants and it's going to be successful at reaching that destination because you're in control. So never forget that, Leo. You're in control. You've got it. Everything's looking great for this month. I really hope that some of these messages resonated with a couple of you guys out there. You know, and, you know, I really enjoyed doing this reading. It's pretty long, but yeah, if anything did resonate, just go ahead and comment down below. Love to hear from you. And look, have a great October, Leos, and I'll see you in the November video. Bye.